Okay, let's look at our first question. So this first question of the quiz wasn't meant to be difficult. It's a 3-mark factorizing polynomial. So why did we put in this question? Because you guys had to work on your presentation for both your factorizing as well as your solving, right? So for this one is factorizing, so it will never become an equation. So what we're going to do is step one, okay, to factorize, you're going to leave it in your brackets, right? So step one, we always use our calculator to cheat. 12 and 9. Most of you all got this correct though. I'm proud. Well done. Okay, so we try to choose a nice number from here. So this nice number here, what I can see is, we can see as 3 is a very nice number. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put down the presentation, which is fx. I'm going to let fx be this. Even if you didn't do this, it's okay. Just don't put equals to 0, okay? Plus 12x plus 9. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the first part here, which is f, put in x equals to 3. Okay, it should give me 0, but always, right, I still want you to just punch into the calculator to do a quick check, just to make sure you never key anything wrongly, okay? So what we have from here is that 2 times 3 power 3 minus 11 times 3 squared plus 12 times 3 plus 9. 3 square 12. Oops, see? Those stupid things. Okay, so yeah, so this one is 0, okay? So what you need to do from here, you must write down, right? So therefore, okay, x minus 3 is a factor. Okay, so then once you are done with this one here, the next thing that you're going to look at is, once you are done with listing it as a factor, right? This part here will probably give you like a 1-mark thing. Very nice, right? Okay, so what we see here is that you're going to do your long division. So how do you do your long division? Because you want to find the other factor. So most of you did long division, a handful of you did compare coefficient. Those of you who did compare coefficient and made a mistake, try to do your long division instead lah. Okay, so this one here, I'm going to multiply by 2x squared minus 6x squared. This one here will be minus 5x squared. Then bring down, bring down. Okay, careful. This one got to multiply by negative 5x. So this is negative 5x squared plus 15x. It should be 0, huh? It should end up as 0, huh? Okay, so this is minus 3x plus 9. So multiply by minus 3. Because you just now said that x minus 3 is a factor, right? So it doesn't make any sense, right? If you never end up as 0, then it's not a factor anymore lah. Okay, so once you're done with until here, right? Okay, what you will do is that this fx thing, right, can be rewritten. So one of the factor is x minus 3, right? This one is 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. So please factorize further. Okay, so I'm just going to use my calculator to cheat real quick for the quadratic one. All right, so this one here will be x minus 3. This one careful, this is 2x plus 1, not x plus half, yeah? Then x minus 3. Okay, a lot of you all stopped here. I want you all to combine the x minus 3, then eventually this will be my final answer. Okay, not scary. So 1 mark for showing that it's a factor, 1 mark for getting this out, 1 mark for the final answer from here. Okay, so that's your first polynomial one. If you need to, you just pause the video and do your corrections. Try not to copy, okay? Try to go and retry again, see where your mistake was lah, okay? Okay, next one. So many of you all were struggling with the first one, but I would say the first one is a very, very typical set 4 question. They don't guide you as much. So what we have here is that, let's see. So we are looking at this circle with center C passes through 4 different points. So as it passes through these 4 different points, right, what I want you to know is always check whether is it diameter, is it tangent, or is it anything, okay? But so they gave you coordinates A and B. That's all they say. Did they say anything about being the normal? Nothing. Tangent? Nothing. So sketch it out. Okay, so you go and sketch it out from here. So now you only have A and B, right? So agak-agak just anyhow put your A and B, okay? But cannot be like diameter or anything. So this A is 0 and 4, and B is 8 and 0. So if I were to draw a line here, this line is apparently the chord of the circle, right? Nothing fancy from here. important thing for the next part here. They are saying, right, there's an equation of a normal to the circle. I hope you all remember. Every single time you see normal to the circle, right, you must know that the normal at any point on the circle, right, will always pass through the center of the circle. So in this case, it's C lah. Okay, so what we have here is that first part, you need to show your coordinate C. Okay, so even you cannot do touch root, you can still do part 2 because you have coordinate C lah. Okay, so what we need to do is, okay, for part I, okay, I need to find a line that passes through the center. I already have one line here. I need another line, right? So the other line I'm looking at is the perpendicular bisector of the chord. Okay, so how do I do that? I'm finding the gradient of AB first. So gradient of AB, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shortcut everything because once you can see the step, you'll be able to do, okay? So I'm sure you can find the gradient of AB. I need to find the midpoint of AB. So add them together, 0 plus 8 divided by 2, 4 plus 0 divided by 2 as well. So your midpoint is 4 and 2. So this coordinate here is 4 and 2. So what I need to do is I need to find the gradient of the bisector. So negative reciprocal, negative 1 divided by negative half. So this is 2. So what I have is using the gradient of this line and the coordinate on this line, I'm going to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector thing. So you should be able to do that. This one will give me y equals to 2x minus 6. Okay? Okay, then from here, because this line passes through the center, right? What's another line that passes through the center? This guy. Okay, so because they both pass through the center, you're going to do your simultaneous. Remember, I told you all, don't complicate matters, just combine them. Okay, combine the x. So 2 plus 4 over 3, that's 10 over 3x, right? 10 over 3x. This side here is 10. So in this case, x will be 3. And then go and find your y. Y just sub into any one of them. I'll get like that. So then please put down in coordinate. C is 3 and 0 and then shown. Okay, very, very important this one. 5 marks, very worth it. Every time you are required to do simultaneous equation, right, then the weightage will be quite high already lah. Okay, so we got center of the circle. So once you have it, like any math question, label it on your diagram. Okay, part 2, most of you all got it correct. So I'm just going to scan through real quick. Okay, I think in fact everybody got this correct. Unless you couldn't even start the first part, then you gave up the whole thing, okay? So don't give up because they gave you the center, so you should continue, all right? Okay, the center of the circle you have. So the center is 3 and 0. What else do you need for the equation of a circle? You always need two things. You need the center as well as the radius from here. So what I have here is that radius. Where's the radius? So you can see radius is this line over here, or the other side also can, right? Just use your length formula, guys. So 3 minus 8 square. I'm not really drawing it to scale if you can tell, but it's okay. 3 minus 8 square, then 0 minus 0 square. So this is, the radius will actually be 5. So when you write down the equation of the circle, x minus 3 square, y minus 0 square equals to r square. Can you all help me to take away the y minus 0? Otherwise, it's not in the simplest form. Okay? So this one will be my answer for part 2. And I was very intrigued by how you all do part 3 because you all overthink. It's only 2 marks, okay? So what you want to do here is that there's another circle. Another circle passes through C, F, and G. Okay, what is F and G, guys? So you must understand F and G, right? If you recall, right, just now in the first part of the question, F and G also lies on the circle. Which part of the circle? Honestly, I don't know. I'm going to anyhow put. Okay, it's going to do this way. So if I draw the circle, right? Okay, I try. So this is the circle here, like that. Okay, so if I pass through C, F, and G, right? And the important thing they tell me, right, is that GF is the, why I put GG? GF, okay? And they say that GF is the diameter from here, right? Okay, what I want you to understand is, since GF given to you is the diameter, what do you understand about CG and CF? It was the radius of just now that question, right? So since it was the radius of just now that question, right, you know the length. This is 5 and 5. And what kind of properties of circle do you know? Diameter, touch. This one will be right angle. So when you have a right angle triangle, what comes to your mind? Tuakaso or even Pythagoras theorem. So what happens here is that I can actually calculate GF using Pythagoras theorem. So if I do that, 5 square plus 5 square, that's 50, right? So that means my GF is actually square root 50. So since this is the diameter, how do I find the radius? So to find the radius, it's just my square root 50 divided by 2. Ugly answer. So be it. They never say exact, right? Oh, not cm, sorry. Units. Okay, so just give me in 3SF. Okay, right? Not scary, right? So fun. Okay. We're going to look at the next one, which is binomial, okay? Binomial killed a lot of you guys because this binomial is, I would say, if they give you a binomial like that, this is the highest level binomial. It was quite sad because part I and I were all equally torturous, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is let me just crop because I probably need a lot space. I'll do part I first, okay? Okay, let's look at binomial part I. Okay, in the expansion of that guy here, k is a constant. K is never equals to 0. Find the value of k. So when they say this, right, guys, constant doesn't mean must be anything special. It can be a fraction as well. So there's no coefficient of 1 over x. So what I want you all to understand is this is 2 plus 4 over x power 4. There's nothing you can do here, right? But this guy over here, you can actually binomial expand it, right? So when you binomial expand it, right, you want coefficient 1 over x, right? What you understand is that this one, you got to multiply by something over x. Correct, right? Then after that, the other one, which is this one here, you want 1 over x. So what you have here is that you probably need to multiply by something x cubed. Okay, so then got dot like that. So I think it might be faster to use our general term. So I'm going to just use my general term to find the coefficient of the pink color one and the blue color one. Okay, so general term, we always need to find r. And then this is minus 2 over x. And then r from here. Always split into coefficients as well as algebra. Okay, k is a coefficient. This negative 2 take together. Algebra, this one will be, and then x. This one careful because you're bringing up, so negative r, okay? So this is my algebra, x. And then this one here is my coefficient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do for the pink color one. What do you want for the pink color one? The pink color one, what you want is you want it to be x power negative 1. Okay? So what we have here is this one open up 39 minus 3r x negative r x power negative 1. So what I have here is combine the powers, okay? I shortcut. So minus 4r equals to minus 40. R is 10. Remember, r must be a whole number, positive whole number. Okay, so for this part here, I managed to find r is 10 already, right? So what I'm going to do is I need to sub to find the coefficient. Okay, you can sub the whole thing inside, I don't mind. Then you get the whole term lah. Okay, so this one here is, okay, I just press calculator, can. 13 choose 10. Okay, so that's the first part. 13 choose 10. Then, okay, never mind. I shall not be lazy. I shall set a good example. Okay, 13 minus 10, negative 2, 10. This whole thing you should know lah, huh? This whole thing will become x power negative 1. If you're scared, you can check again, okay? So 13 choose 10 times 13 choose 10 times negative 2 power, oops, 10. It's humongous answer. So this one here is 292,864. This one is k power 3 over x. So this one will be my coefficient, my ugly number, okay? 292,864. Scary, right? Okay, now we're going to do the blue color part. Remember what you want? You want this thing here to be equals to x power 3. So I just expand real quick again. X 39 minus 3r minus r. This is 3. Okay, so 39 minus 4r equals to 3. Minus 4r is minus 36. R equals to 9. So sub inside here again. Ew, no space. Wait. Okay, so I sub inside here again. to make sure that everything can fit, like the coefficient and the, what's that called? The algebra thing, okay? So 13 choose 9. K, 13 minus 9 is 4, right? Yeah. K power 4, negative 2, 9. This one here, you can do a quick check, but it should give me x cubed. Okay, 13 choose, oopsie. 13 choose 9. Ayah. Ayah, what's wrong with me? 13 choose 9. So that's 715 times negative 2 power 9. This is minus 366080 k power 4 x power 3. Wow, I knew I would need more space. How many marks is this? 5 marks, is it? Ah, yes, okay. Okay, so now what I have here is that I have this one already, right? Okay, so this one here, what I'm going to do is I need to put in all my values. I probably need a lot more space. Okay, so the pink one is, I use a darker pink, 2922864 k power 3 over x. Okay, so this one is like that. Then the other blue one is a darker blue, ah. So this one is my plus and negative, right? So I put minus lah, huh? 366080 k. Only no space. K power 4 x cubed. This one here got plus dot dot dot. Okay, so we're going to expand accordingly. We don't need the rest, right? We just need the coefficients of 1 over x can already, right? So this one got to multiply by this one here. So when I multiply 292864 times 2, this is 585728 k power 3 over x. Okay, the other side got 2 times 4, right? 3, oh goodness me. So scary, the numbers. 366080 times 4. Ooh, is it 4? Yeah, it's 4. This one here will give me, what's so big? 1464,320 k power 4 over x. Because x cubed. Okay. Oh yeah, x cubed times x power 4. Okay, so like that, then plus dot dot dot, right? So if they say coefficient only, right? So I just take the numbers. So this coefficient is equals to 0. Okay, a lot of y'all from here, okay, we're almost there, hang in there. Okay, so from here, right, what I have is, a lot of y'all will just divide by k power 3, but remember, k equals 0 is possible answer, you just need to reject it later. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to factorize out k power 3. So when I do that, right, this thing, this thing here, okay, this thing here will simplify further. This is gone, and then like that. Okay, then this thing here is equals to 0. So what I have is, one of them is k power 3 equals to 0. They say k is not equals to 0, right? So reject this one. So now we solve this thing here. This thing equals to 0. Almost there, okay? So you bring over. Okay, so when you bring over, that will be negative 585728, right? Then you divide by negative 1464320. Ta-da! So this one here, final answer, k equals to 2/5. Okay, you probably need a breather now. Okay, so this is one of the really, really scary ones. The O-level ones, they're not so scary, but this is from a prelim paper, so it's a little bit more tedious, okay? So 5 marks for it, but logic all the same. Use general term, find that specific term, eventually expand, and then go and compare what the criteria is about. Okay? Okay, let's get ready for another tedious one, but this one not as bad, I think. I remember this one was actually quite okay. For 5 marks just now was way more tedious. So they say that the coefficient of this and this is actually negative 80 and 3000. Okay, what I want to do here is I want to actually just use my binomial expansion. Alright, so the binomial expansion formula is given in the formula sheet. So I'm just going to just write it down, okay? If you need to refer, you go and refer accordingly, yeah? Okay, so the first one is 1 power n, which just gives me 1. Second one is n choose 1. 1 power n minus 1 is still 1. Then minus c over x power 1. Then we have n choose 2. 1 power n minus 2 minus c over x whole thing squared. Dot, dot, dot. Okay, why I know dot dot dot? Because I only needed what? I only needed this and this, right? So here and here I got it already because this is x squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm just only going to take the coefficient. So this one is the unknown n thing that you must always remember. Okay, so we talked about this in class. So let's just go through real quick, okay? So this one over here is actually the coefficient of 1 over x, which gives me negative 80. Am I right? So what's n choose 1? N choose 1 is always n. If you forget, you just press 10 choose 1 and you get 10. Okay, so this one is n times c, so negative here, equals to negative 80. So what I have here is that, okay, nc equals to 80. This is my first equation that I need to work with. Not scary, right? Okay, then after that, this n choose 2, you take the square with you, okay? So from here, what's n choose 2? This is equals to 3000. Okay, what's n choose 2? I told you all before. When you see n choose 2, right, there's two terms upstairs, and then this one is 2 times 1. N choose 3, we got 3 terms upstairs, below is 3 times 2 times 1. So this one you multiply by c square. This is equals to 3000. Okay, I'm going to see if I can expand this ugly looking thing, okay? So it's n times n minus 1 times c square over 2 equals to 3000, right? I'm going to cross multiply. So this is n square minus n multiplied by c square equals to 6000. Okay, so this one here looks like my second equation. I'm just going to scan through and see how to sub in, right? So that it looks nice, okay? So what we have from here is I'm thinking of subbing in c. Looks easier. Let me think. If I sub in c, yeah, maybe I should do that. Let's try. So c from here is 80 over n, right? This is my equation 3. So I'm going to sub 3 into 2. So when I do that, this one no change. What's c squared? So 80 squared is a 6400 over n squared. And then this one here will be equals to 6000. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, wow, let me see. So 6,400 n squared minus 6,400 n over n squared is equals to 6,000. So I can bring the n over, right? So when I bring the n squared over, I cross multiply. So then I'll simplify this. So if I simplify this one here will give me 400 n squared equals to 6400n. So same thing, don't just cancel everything nicely. Move everything to one side and then we solve it. Factorize and then you solve it. You can take out 400n. So this one here will be n minus, what's 6400? It's 16, I think. Yeah, correct. So like that. Okay, so you will, from here, you will be able to get n equals to 0 or n equals to 16. I don't think n is equals to 0, right? Because if it's equals 0, then what kind of binomial is this? You can't expand already. So I'll reject n equals to 0. I'll get n equals to 16, one of them, right? Then we can find c, because c is 80 over n. 80 over n is 5. So we got our answer. Hey, this one not so tedious. This one very fun. But I just need to remember this, okay? If I have n choose 3, upstairs got 3 terms, like that. And then below, decreasing 3 terms, right? Then 3 times 2 times 1. So always remember this one. Okay? O-level hasn't tested this unknown n thing, so just take note in case you are the luckier, alright? Okay. This is my binomial. Okay, I love this question actually. Unknown n term is actually quite doable. Okay, next one, last one. Phew, finally. Okay, this one here quite interesting because when we look at this one here, right, they actually gave you midpoints. So a lot of us wouldn't be able to realize, but this question actually requires your midpoint theorem. All right. So what we have here is that they want you to explain that which line is parallel to AB. A lot of your state, but you'll never explain. So what I have here is a lot of first thing you'll ask me is, cher got typo, right? How come AB got nothing parallel, ma? Then can draw your own line from here, right? Okay, so what we see here is, remember your midpoint theorem? They say that this is a midpoint, this is a midpoint. Then when you draw this line, connect like that, right? since it's the midpoint of these two lines, right? These two lines automatically will be parallel already. So that's your midpoint theorem, okay? The given midpoints, you can tell that the lines are parallel. So parallel to AB, the line is actually NP, PN or NP, same lah, huh? So you will just write down, right? Given P, P is midpoint of AC and M is midpoint of AB, then you will say you write down by midpoint theorem, PN is parallel to AB. So for 1 mark. Okay, so at least we know there's one set of parallel lines. I'm going to take my pencil, draw this line. Don't know whether it will confuse myself, but just see from here like that. Okay, there's actually one more set of parallel line, it's actually this one. Because M is the midpoint of AB, P is the midpoint. So when I draw like that, right? This one here also parallel. Okay? Okay, so the next few parts are going to get easier. So just that the answers are a little bit ugly lah. Okay, so for part 2, right, you need to find the equation of AB, meaning you need the gradient of AB and you need any point on AB. So we already have this one here. But what's the gradient of AB? The gradient of AB, you got to use the gradient of NP because they are parallel. So I'm just going to 1 minus 2 minus half minus 8. Okay, so these two gradients are the same. Let me just highlight for you. So gradient of this and gradient of this is the same. So let's just press calculator. Okay, so the gradient very ugly, right? So your gradient is actually, 1 minus 2 and the other way around. 1 minus 2, sorry, my bad. This one should be 2. I use negative, so 2 minus 1. Wait, Okay, so this is the gradient. So negative 2 over 17. So using these two, I'm sure you all can find the equation. Let me just write down the answer for you. Negative 2 over 17x plus, what is it supposed to be? 87 over 17. Yep, correct. 87 over 17. Okay, so this one is the answer for part 2. Not scary, right? Next one, part 3, also equation of the line again. So you need gradient and any point on AC. AC have already. You can use negative half and 2. So what is AC? So AC, okay, so equation of AC from AC is parallel to who? AC is parallel to MN, right? So you can use the gradient of MN as well. So MN will be 1 minus 5 and 8 minus 1. So this thing is only scary because you have to know your midpoint theorem. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see any parallel lines, right? Like, where's my gradient? Cannot find the gradient, right? So same thing, you got this one here. Okay, then after you got your equation of the, you got any point on the line, right? So this is the answer for that one here. Okay, so this one, these two settled. Nice. Okay, so now they want us to show that the coordinates of A is actually 7.5 and 6. So what I want you to note is, you see, you already have equation of which line? You have equation of AB. You also have equation of AC. Do you realize these two meet at A? So if they meet at A, right, you just need to simultaneous this one. Okay, so simultaneous the two equation that I highlighted. So this one here plus 87 over 17. So the concept's nothing scary. You just need to see the midpoint theorem and see the parallel lines, okay? So this one also same thing. Don't go and make your denominator the same. Don't do funny things. Just combine these two, okay? So negative 2 over 17 bring over, so plus 4 over 7. So this is 54 over 119. Doubt yourself, right? Ugly, right? Equals to, this one is 12 over 7 minus 87 over 17. So this is minus 405 over 119. Okay, good news is the denominator looks like removable, right? So if I divide by I want to find x, right? So I find this way. So then I'll be able to get x equals to negative 7.5. Oh, very nice. So I'm sure you all can go and find y from there already. Please remember, you have to write as coordinates. If you never write as coordinates, goodbye. Your 1 mark is gone. Okay, so this one here, then very proudly write shown. Okay, area. This one, some of y'all do funny things. Y'all got it wrong only because y'all copy wrong coordinates. So area for coordinate geometry, right? Use your um shoelace method, right? So let me put down the A. Even if you are stuck, you can do once because they give you shown, shown, shown. This paper quite kind. Difficult, here difficult, binomial difficult, but some they guide you, right? Circles, they all do shown, coordinate, they all do shown, right? So what they want? They want A, M, N, P. Oh, not bad. We got all the coordinates from here. Okay. So when you're doing shoelace method, right? Should I write below? Yeah, write below, okay? When you're doing shoelace method, right, it's always half. Then remember to start and end at the same point. All right. So let's say if I'm going to start, right? Let's say I start with A. Okay, so 7, negative 7.5 and 6. You're also going to end at negative 7.5 and 6. Remember, you're going anti-clockwise. So anti-clockwise is where? Opposite of a clock, right? So anti-clockwise, then you will take down your next coordinate, which is negative half and 2. Okay, I like to write in decimals. It's 8 and 1. It's 1 and 5, negative 7.5 and 6. Okay, so what you're going to do is when you're going down, you always multiply and add them together. So usually for multiply, I'm quite okay. I will just press calculator from here, okay? So negative 7.5 times 2 plus negative 0.5 times 1 plus 8 times 5 plus 1 times 6. So this one here will be 30.5. Okay, my minus one, I'll be very careful. So minus one, I will write them separately because I want to make sure that my coordinates, if need to cancel off, the signs change, then I must be careful. So 6 times negative 0.5 is minus 3. Minus 16, minus 1, minus, what is 7.5? Negative 7.5 times 5. Then negative. You saw that? Okay, so for negative one, just be extra careful from there. Okay, so now I can finally press my calculator. I hope I get a nice number. 30.5 plus 3 minus 16 minus 1 plus 37.5. So this is 54. What's half of 54? 27. Okay, so remember, go by and start and end at the same point, anti-clockwise. Plus, that time can just press calculator, minus, do yourself a favor, list out, because we are scared of minus, minus. Minus, minus will become plus lah. Okay, full paper, done. Please review, and then not sure, just let me know, okay? Text me and then I'll save you.